Top Cut breakdown for the NA YCS is here. You guys smash it with the crap and subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So I want to talk about Top Cut here. We have some deck list in the other half of this video for you guys to look forward to out of the YCS. So of course, smash it with the crap and subscribe button as per usual. So we had two Tri-Brigade decks in our Top Cut. It actually doesn't surprise me, alright? Like I said, this deck is what the highest, best deck in the format. Like between this and the Zodiac variant fighting each other for supremacy, it's pretty much a straightforward shot from here if you want to argue for better deck. We have two Virtual World in top 8 as well. Anybody surprised about that as well? Like, Virtual World's good stuff, right? Now, for the rogue of the top 8 here, we had Mech Orchest, alright? And that's like, when we talk about the list here in a second, you're literally going to go, what in the world is this deck? Because, truthfully, that's how I feel. After looking at the Top Cut and seeing how this deck performed, it is a literal ride of insanity. I'm surprised that the deck made it all the way to the frickin' top 8 of all things, alright? It's actually pretty cool. We had Dragon Link actually coming in second place. Alright, Dragon Link smashed all the way through and ended up losing to Pack in the finals. Alright, by the way, Tri-Brigade did not get the win for our event. Our little friends across the pond over there at the European YCS did have Raphael Nevin, of all the good duelists in the world, taking down their side of the pond, which is really good, actually. I'm very happy for that, but it's a story for another day. We had one Prank Kids in Top Cut, which was none other than Pack. He shared his list with the world on Twitch, and we'll cover that here in a second as well for you guys. But outside of that, we also had the one Eldritch Border Stun / Eldritch variant that performed very well for our event, which was good to see. So out of the diversity of the Top Cut here, what's the most interesting out of this? Well, first up, if you guys haven't said congratulations to Pack, he deserves it. He spent a lot of time playtesting. Man is a pure savage when it comes to this. Hey, you guys remember when Pack said that he, or everybody said that Pack was playing Sky Striker, and people were calling me out saying like, no, Pack's playing Striker because he said Ray was bae on social media? No. Nah, Pack was playing kids, alright, and he pulled it off. Locked down a win for the community. Dragon Link was the other variant that did well, and it looks like it does take time for Dragon Link to be innovated. A lot of players really underestimate the pure hard time that it takes to crack the formulae on a deck. So to see that this got the chance to do frickin' well is fantastic. I'm very shocked to see no Drytron in top 8. I guess the deck just does kind of get bullied by the rest of the format, which means that maybe Drytron's potential is falling off a little bit here. Virtual World still is keeping up with its powerhouseness. Prank Kids still floating around the tier 1 upper half category. You know, one card engines are really good. Being able to decimate an entire board for literally pennies on the dollar. When I say that, literally meow meow. Not restricted to once per turn, by the way. So good. Alright, so yeah, that's a Top Cut. But once again, guys, as per usual, you definitely should show Pack some love. I think it's actually awesome that he ended up locking down and winning the event for the NA community. But alright, let's pass it on over here to the top deck list for this event, shall we? Right, the first list we have here is Pack's first place finish list here. Mad Lad is playing one Twin Twister in the deck. A friend of mine was looking at this list, he's like, man, I almost want to play 41 just to squeeze in the second Twin Twister. I'm like, you'd be messing with your variants at that point. Talents was a real powerhouse for Pack. Watching him rip the Nibiru from the opponent was really freaking good. Alright, the triple Parallaxy to make the Dweller, I saw put in a lot of work for him. Outside of that, the only thing I think people would maybe question is like, why 2 poly and not 3, but I guess you can argue about variants truly at the end of the day if you really want to. I don't see any issue with this though. You know, Pandemonium literally handles everything else that maybe the hard poly can't solve for you. So, outside of that, I'm very happy to see the massive power that this deck can still produce, still mess with the opponent with, and just very happy to see very solid results out of this. So yeah, Pack's first place finish. Next up here was Darren Dial's second place list. I wanted to shout out Team Genesis for this video. So this is Dragon Link. Yup, that's the Chaos Emperor Dragon. I haven't seen this card in a little while. I'm actually happy to see that it looks like we got the formula down here. We're playing double knock division, which is fine. 2 chamber, 2 tiding, which is fine. Our hand traps, nice spread here. Basic 10. Brotar combo is fine. Still going down red MD lines. It's fine. Striker Dragon. Poor Alpi. I know he misses his brother. I see that we are still playing Delidrous, of course. Saruja for the Turbo Draw Power. Still making the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. And we get to mess around with Zombie Stein now for the extra big power plays. Outside of that, truthfully, Dragon Link, besides like your little variances and push points and little changes, always kind of stays the same. Alright, it's just now it's not quite as like combo streamlined as you would think it is. This deck still did some really cool power plays. Watching it play though, like watching it rip apart a lot of these players' fields, a lot of players just they don't know how to handle Dragon Link. They're like, oh, here we go again, another evolution. So yeah, congratulations to Darren for second place. All right, next list I have for you guys over here is actually going to be the Mecha Knight list. This was Cameron Lorino's top 8 list, and this math lad's playing triple Divine Wrath in his deck. We have our Orcust engine in here, a little bit smaller than I think a lot of people would really want to play, but that's not where our strong suit is. We are also playing a small Mecha Knight package here of literally the Greaseus Descent. Remember, this is an Orcust Mecha Knight, so this bridges the gap for both engines, which allows you to actually play them and have that synergy that you want. You have, of course, the Mecha Knight engine to access that, to go into this. Literally, it's the right amount of spice to kind of tie those engines together here. Also being able to set up, you know, Galteas for the full interruptions, Greaseus to start those interruptions, having access to Zeus to disrupt the opponents, and then your trap board is going to be your center point, allowing you to kind of bridge the gap for this. And to see that this deck made it all the frickin' way to top 8 here was no short of a true miracle for this duel. So I think that this was actually very, very exciting to see that this, of all things, hodgepodges right here, ladies and gentlemen, have the chance to function. Frickin' Mecha Knights with Orcust. Hey, who said that they needed the good card back in order to function? They're still doing things. Next up here is Joshua Jones' top 8 list as well here. And I do want to say here that Fan Frickin' Tasme was a powerhouse this weekend. Watching this card tutor for any sort of hand trap you might post-siding, main decking here, you open up, I don't know, 3 of a name here and you need to cycle through to get one of those cards back into your deck. Frickin' Phantasme was that unchoke point for a lot of players this weekend. And I think it was relatively amazing just watching how many games had this come up. I also see down here that we are playing the Gothams, which means that we can at least get some sort of hand rip out of the opponent's hand to kind of start devastating their combo pieces, which is actually pretty interesting, actually. A lot of players kind of deemed Gothams more of a failure near the end of his life, or I guess more towards the modern era for these decks. But to see it back here, I'll take it. All right. So, yeah, this Virtual World list is really friggin' spicy, all things considered. Next up here is Robert Kennedy's Phantom Knight combo deck. And Phantom Knight, yeah, we are playing, where was it? I guess we have the Ronaldo here. So basically, this is 54 cards. You decide how you want to play it, the deck. I almost think that's the best way to say this. Watching this deck go full combo is so good. I mean, how many players, like, in this modern era are going to really expect an Assault the touchdown and just start destroying the opponent? Because literally as soon as this resolves, you should be good to full combo. The sad thing is this deck does have choke points, but I think that's why we're playing the 54 cards for more of the combo extensions. And then he's like, don't worry, Robbie, I'm going to blow your mind even more. He's playing Ghost Mourner and the Moonlit Chill. If your opponent special summons a monsters face up, except during damage step, you can discard this card, target one of those face-up monsters, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Also, if that face-up monster leaves the field, its controller takes damage equal to its original attack. So, you guys want some more negates? Well, I think this is actually very interesting as a tech choice, but it looks like it found success for them, making it all the frickin' way into Top Cut for this event. So that's very, very, very good to see. And the last list I have for you guys is Christian Arena's, yes, this is Zodiac Tri-Brigade. Same 3 here. Double Throw Blade and the 1 Rap here, of course. We're playing Barrage for, you guessed it, basic Zodiac combo. The reason why this deck has as much success as it does is because of the splashable Zoo package access to Zeus. Alright, the other thing with this build is you sacrifice a little bit more of your grind game, which I think at the end of the day is fine. You still do have access to blow through boards because of Zeus. Basically trading off your grind with Shirags for the additional packages of Zeus, which I think is fine, honestly. And the last list I want to cover for you guys here as well is Raphael Nevin's winning list out of the UK. So, or Europe, however you want to declare their region for their event. We have double Shirag as well. There's a Zodiac package, same thing here. Same thing with the Throw Blades and the Rapier and the Revolt. This man's also the champion of opening the Imperial Order and just having his opponent chain the Droplet to fire off the Lightning Storm. That was kind of hilarious, actually, watching that. But outside of that, this is the power play for the weekend. So good. Even seeing it here is really, really good. So congratulations to everybody that did frickin' marvelous out of this weekend's YCS Top Cut build weekends. Guys, what do you think about these lists? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Smash it, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Vanquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.